problem with much of the training material for HighLevel is it's also intended as recruiting marketing material for HighLevel affiliates or for HighLevel themselves. So we're on a walk with the dogs in the woods, and I'm just going to ramble here a little bit about the issue that I see arising, and I'm not sure I have a good answer for because of the complexity of HighLevel. So here's the issue as I see it, is HighLevel is changing constantly, and if you are a HighLevel agency, keeping up with those changes, especially focusing on the changes that are relevant to you and your clients in your particular industry, is what you do. It's what you do for a living. But if you are what I call business model zero, the end user of the platform, you're a company that does whatever it is that your company does. You did not get into your business to learn and keep up with a software platform. You did not get into your business to become an expert marketer. You know that you need to do marketing for your business to succeed, but marketing isn't fulfillment in your business. And even though I think it's Peter Drucker that's quoted as saying, or maybe it's Edward Deming, one of those two, most probably, is quoted as saying, to the customer, marketing is everything about the business, but that's not the reality of you in the way you interact with your business. Your interaction with your business is via fulfillment. You think of your business from, this is what I do for people. So the issue becomes, the reason it's a problem is that you can't afford the time, energy, effort, even the cost associated with trying to keep up with this platform that's changing incredibly fast. There's some good things about the fact that it changes incredibly quickly. This particular rant is not a rant against the changes in the platform. Some of the changes are very, very necessary, and some of them are simply obvious next steps, obvious improvements, and very appropriate. And frankly, the ones that I think aren't so necessary are probably very valid for the person that absolutely wants them. So there's this challenging middle ground. How do we find the middle ground? And I have a couple of friends, a couple of associates who have different approaches to training material that's constantly being updated, and frankly, how I improve my production of appropriate training materials is probably the next step in my ability to serve my clients and also the people who are following me in the HighLevel user and HighLevel agency world. At some point, it probably will become necessary for me to treat training video production as a significant portion of my fulfillment. And the issue with that is, because the platform changes so rapidly, it's very likely that I will produce material that will, in less than 6 months, be obsolete. Honestly, I don't know if the effort required to do that, maintain that library of training material is worth the effort. So it's conceivable that the purpose of this particular rant, this particular conversation as I'm with the dogs, is a question to the community, to people who not necessarily think that I have the primary way that they keep up with and learn about HighLevel, but at least I'm part of their community. I'm part of how they learn, they engage with the HighLevel community. How important is it to all of you that I provide technical training and updates on a regular basis? And when we're talking regular basis, because of the pace of development for the platform, we're talking probably hours a day, certainly hours a week, and that's not of just production, and that's not even talking about going back through past content and deciding what has now become obsolete. One of the reasons that when I shoot a Zoom clip and post it to my YouTube channel, when I shoot a screen share Zoom clip, Zoom automatically includes the date of recording in the file name. Part of the reason that I leave that date of recording in the file name or in the video description name very often is because I know that I'm talking about something that is in fact a dated piece of information. It's something that's likely to expire. And when that is the case, I would like it to be very clear to the audience, to you, that that you're seeing something that is some significant period of time old. So my in-laws had an interesting experience this last weekend. They logged on YouTube to watch the local church service, and they were confused because the pastor was talking about October, but it seemed to be not in alignment. Doing a little bit of gymnastics here with the dog's leashes. What the pastor was talking about was referencing October, but there was no mention of a specific event that was supposed to happen yesterday, that did happen yesterday. Or sorry, today's Tuesday, so it did happen Sunday. In retrospect, doing the analysis, they realized they had been watching the church service from exactly a year ago, not the one that was currently live on YouTube. That anecdote, that apocryphal story, is to say there is time sensitive content on YouTube that may not age well. In the case of a sermon, it was totally appropriate to people's continued life growth, but the specifics of the announcements weren't correlated with October of 2025. They were correlated with October 2024. Okay, and so how that then applies to the HighLevel world is, I was in the collab group for the HighLevel town halls, and I'm reading a comment 8 months, 9 months, maybe 11 months ago, and the basic issue still exists, but the resolution is very different now than the immediate responses that were given by members of the community at that time, because HighLevel has continued to change so rapidly. Not a criticism, simply an observation, and it ties to the topic I'm rambling about right now. Which is, I don't know how valuable me keeping current active training materials on my publicly accessible training sites is going to be to my community. Certainly I will need to leverage AI to some extent, which has been something I've tended to avoid. I've tried to make a point of communicating that I'm providing raw content so that you, the audience, knows beyond a shadow of a doubt that this is really me, this is live, this is not. So the current fad is Sora 2. I'm not doing virtual life experiences for you. If you want to go have your own virtual life experiences, that's fantastic. You go do you. I'm not going to pretend that I have a Lamborghini, or that I have a sailing yacht, or that I'm climbing Mount Everest, when I'm not. That just doesn't seem like trustworthy behavior to me. Similarly, or in practical sense, if I have to produce hours worth of training content every single day, I'm going to have to leverage I'm going to have to leverage AI, and I'm not sure how I'm going to strike that balance between producing the content and keeping the content current, curating, curating content isn't the right word, because curating has to do with other people's content. I'm not sure how I balance maintaining my raw, organic, natural content style with the volume of production that will be needed to stay current on all of the HighLevel updates. All right, I hope this is helpful to you. Maybe you can give me some feedback on what you think I should do regarding this issue. Visiting the neighbor dogs, having a little play date.